Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We told you we would be on here a little bit more often. We are going to be discussing a couple pretty cool topics today. We're going to discuss spoon. Well, you took the spoon. We're going to discuss anybody that believes in DejaVu. Well, DejaVu, I guess you don't have to believe in it because I think everybody's experienced that. Astral projection, premonitions, different things like that. But we are going to be catching up to, we're going to be talking about some of the announcements that was on our Lurking Spirits channel and different things like that. So welcome, welcome, welcome to our show. Linda, I know that you have to be here. Ready? Yep, there you go. Hi, Linda. Hi, Linda. Linda's waiting for you. You know that, right?
I'm not touching anything.
I
haven't touched anything.
She already did. She had to fix stuff up before we could even log in. That's why we're about 10 minutes late.
It's my fault.
It wasn't your fault, but there was buttons that was messed up.
Doing some weird shenanigans.
It was. So, I might sound a little weird tonight, and I'm just battling. The whole family's been going through that, whatever the illness is that's going around.
King Pee Wee is sleeping.
I'm starting to feel better, but I'm still not quite there yet, so kind of bear with me tonight. As you know, the start of each one of our shows. Hi, Eric. He's in the room too. We start with fun facts. So Gabriella's going to be doing that, and then we'll go right into our topic.
Hi, Abers.
Hi, Abs. At any time, if anybody wants to come in live and join, all you need to do is let us know, and we'll invite you, and we can let you come on live. Yeah, we'll do that tonight for anybody that may want to pop in live. So,
special day.
I'm hoping a lot of people show up. I think Linda made an announcement about us coming on. I know I put a couple hours ago that we would be coming on live tonight. But Gabriella, you can go ahead and do that, and then we'll go in and recap some of the things that Abby and Chase covered on Lurking Spirits.
I have the name.
Okay, and then we'll go from there. So,
I forgot to tell you that, but I have them.
Okay.
All right. So the first, it's not a state fact. Well, this one is, but the rest of them are not. They're just fun facts. So the first one is Australia is wider than the moon.
It's big.
I did not know that. I knew it was big, but I didn't know it was that big. Second one is Venus is the only planet to spin clockwise. Also didn't know that. Max, that's disgusting.
Is that Max or is that Sia? Whichever. Yeah. That is disgusting.
Whoever you are, stop it.
Yeah, they're kind of like in a big, heavy slurping session over there.
And the third one is allodoxophobia is the fear of other people's opinions.
Whoa, I did not know that.
I didn't know that one either.
So now we have a new vocabulary word. Allodoxophobia?
Allodoxophobia.
Allodoxophobia. Allodoxophobia.
It kind of sounds like onomatopoeia.
Yeah, onomatopoeia, allodoxophobia. Okay, cool. I'm liking it a lot. Supercalifragilistic allodoxophobia. Gotta blend it right in there.
Okay, you win this one.
It worked, right?
That did work. All right.
What is on the cap?
3 fun facts.
Okay, so to recap, first of all, we want to say a big congrats. As anybody knows, that we did have a contest going on Lurking Spirits. Once we hit our 450th subscriber, Chase gave away a spirit box that he personally bought and he used just for a couple of times for experimental and everything. He liked the other spirit box a lot better. So he was giving that one away at the contest giveaway. And then there was two runners up. The second place and the third place and second place runners got a t-shirt with our logo on it. Not Real Talk, of course, Working Spirits. So congratulations to those three people, and they are...
All right, the first place winner was Alistair Novak.
Congratulations, Alistair. I'm not sure if you listen to this channel, but everybody a big shout out. Congrats to Alistair.
And then Young 9 Kid was the second, so congrats.
Well, we're going to give both of them because they're the same thing.
And the third one is Dave Dominic.
So Young 9 Kid and Dave Dominic, congratulations on second and third place prizes. You get those t-shirts. Contact one of the members of Lurking Spirits to give us your size. And colors come according to size right now, unfortunately, so you can't choose a color and a size. You have to take whatever color is associated with that size. But if you go on our Lurking Spirits, you'll see what colors according to your size that you're going to end up getting. So a big congrats to all of those. We will be having more contests like that, like Chase had announced on there. We probably will start having some giveaways here on our channel here soon. But it wasn't me. Linda, you may win on this channel. You never can tell. We're going to be giving stuff away sometime here in the near future too. And
hey, it was fine the last few.
Yeah, come on. Sorry, our internet's doing wonky shit again. Maybe it's pre-election vibes. I don't know. But anyhow, Gabrielle and I will be giving away stuff here sometime on our channel in the future too. As I started to say, we do a lot of crafting. We do a lot of like looming, stuff like that. So it could even be something homemade if you like that type of stuff, but we will be doing that also in the future. To also recap another big news thing that we had by now, most of you probably heard on our Lurking Spirits channel and our Facebook page, Travel the Dead will be arriving at the Cambria County Jail on the 23rd and 24th. But during the early hours of the 23rd, while they're interviewing people and getting info that they want for their show, we will be doing tours yet. But the good thing is about doing the tours during that period of time, there is a possibility that you could be on that show because they are going to randomly, I guess, interview people and randomly go around with the camera. So there is a possibility you could end up on Travel the Dead. So keep in mind, go on there, book for that day. You can I'm going to say 10 to 6 would be the best time. After 6, I think it's kind of going into their time frame for them to set up their equipment and everything. But please feel free to come in, book. You can book right there on the spot. It's going to be a really eventful weekend. We're excited. And we're looking forward to having Katrina and her team back. So, for us, the other big thing is Miss Linda here, which is a big support system for our channel. Super fantastic moderator. I'm going to say it. I do compare her to another moderator that is really fantastic on another person's channel. Candy from Bad to the Bone. Candy is phenomenal. And Linda, I put you right up there with Candy. So pat yourself on the back. You were awesome. Because of Linda and her encouragement, I'm thinking of writing a book, and it's going to be in probably 3 parts. The first part will be, the preface of it will be me telling how I even first got interested in the Cambria County Jail to begin with. The first unit section will be about the history of the jail. The second section unit will be about all of our experiences that we had and are still having there at the jail. And the third section will be, I'm having anybody, if you had any information about the jail that we may have missed out on, that you have researched and you want to send us, or if you have been at the jail, you've had experiences there, you've toured there, if you have anything that you want to share, if you want to write a poem, if you have pictures, whatever, send them to me to my personal email, which is devo85@hotmail.com. Gabriella can type that in and post it, and Linda, you can also do it if you want. Send your information to me there, and I'm going to review everything, start comprising everything, and I'm going to start typing away here in the very near future. But I want to make sure I get all my research, cross-reference, make sure everything is accurate, factual. I want to make sure that the teammates all give their personal accounts, word for word, anything like that. I'm going to include in that book. I'm not saying when it'll be out, when I'll get done. I don't know. I guess it depends on how fast everybody sends information and stuff like that. But I am going to be working on that. And that's thanks to Linda for giving me the inspiration to want to go ahead and do that, because I have been thinking about that for some time. So, is there anything else? Touch on something real quick, and I don't want to get into it too much. I know Linda will know where I'm going, but as far as involving the jail, we've had a lot of people in there. Everybody so far has given really good reviews. There was a little tiny, I don't know, call it a tiny glitch or issue, whatever, but please, anybody that comes into the jail, if there's any issues, rather big or small, come up to me before I leave, or come to one of the members, or go to the security guard, but address it with one of us immediately, and we will take care of it. We will make sure that your experience there is an enjoyable one. We don't want anybody to come in and have any issues. We will fix something up immediately. I reach out to people. Like, I'm easy to talk with. I'm easy to get along with. If you address something to me, I will fix it as quickly as I can, or explain why a certain thing is happening the way it is. But with that said, that's all I'm touching. I know Linda knows, and I don't want to get into it because
it was just a fiasco. I wish I could say stuff.
Yeah, we will, and in the near future, things will be addressed. But here's the thing: is we never want any kind of drama to come out of anything, and we want everything just to be in a nice, comfortable pace. And we're all very easy to talk to and very open and willing to. I'm sure if anybody's watching, or if they go in our lurking spirits, we've had people contacted the owner and stuff, and that said we actually went a step beyond and above what they were expecting us to bend over for them and accommodate them so their experience could be pleasant. So we're not hard people to get along with. We will work with you, but for God's sake, just talk to us. And if there's even if it's a slight issue or concern you have, address it immediately. Don't wait and address it a couple days or a week or so later. Address it immediately.
I'm going to say is, if you do something and we find out, why lie about it?
I didn't even like using the word lie, because in a particular case, the word liar or deceit or anything like that never came into play from us. The
We were called liars.
Yeah, the whole situation was misunderstood, and it could have been so easily resolved when I reached out and said, "Hey, I'm here, contact me." And that wasn't done. And
some of it was a misunderstanding.
It was, yeah, some of it was, but some of us, there were certain things that was done because there was reasons for that direction to go to. And just kind of pay attention between our channel and Lurking Spirits, and you'll kind of know where we're going. And it's really, there should have never been a big deal made out of something really minor, something that could have been fixed immediately. There should have never, ever been anything going.
Let me post on chat. Thankfully, my laptop isn't cranky. What did I miss?
B Squared, welcome. We just started. We congratulated the winners from our subscriber contest that we had on Lurking Spirits. So we congratulated the winners. We did our normal intro and that we normally do. Our topic today, definitely, you can see it on our intro, is DejaVu, Premonitions, and Astral projection. That's what we're going to be getting into. We were talking about the gel. I'm going to be writing a book. But when we're talking about that, anybody that ever comes to the gel, if there's ever an issue, something that bothers you, something that you're not real happy about, to address this immediately. Don't wait days, weeks, and then certainly don't put it for views or whatever the case may be.
We weren't contacted about it. It was, we had to find out
through a live view, through a
live video.
Yeah. So, and we don't want to discuss because we're kind of the whole. It hurts me and it bothers me because, again, like I said, I don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill, because really the whole situation was a molehill. It could have easily been resolved that day or soon, like that night, the next day.
Like the whole thing is communication is key.
Yeah.
That's all that needed to be done in order for none of this to spiral out of control.
Yeah, and like I said, I reached out. There's two different people I contacted and said, please, there's definitely a big misunderstanding. There was things said that simply wasn't true, and there was things that we know happened 100% for sure. Let me go in this direction too with it. When I say you, just because I'm saying you, if there's a group of people that comes into play, whether it's one team, a group of teams, a group of tours, whatever, if I use the word you, I usually use that word you as in you in general, not you as in specific. So when I say you, I mean somebody in that group, not you in particular. So like, say Lurking Spirits is in a group and I say you, referring to the group. That's what I'm talking about. Unless I say you, Gabriella, or you, Eric, or you, Abby, then I'm specifically targeting one person. In this case, that was not the case. I said you as in general, as somebody in the group. Somewhere, something happened in the group, and things got miscommunicated, misconstrued. There was implications made that was not meant, that was taken the wrong way.
But one thing that that we will not stand is being called liars.
Yeah, and that's kind of without going into it, and because I really don't want to make big, like I said, the whole thing is I respect the people that come in, and I respect, with this incident even, I respect the group that comes in. But when things are being addressed, if there's any issues, they should have been addressed that night, not later, and certainly not on a show. And things should have been addressed. If I say contact me, let's talk, address it then at that time. Then, like I said, we can't say too much more because we have to watch. I respect people. I'm not out to.
It's not like we're trying to disrespect anybody because we really appreciate everybody who comes from the jail, everybody who does an investigation. These people seem like very lovely people.
Yeah.
But it's just some things that were said and done that we can't talk about.
And I'm going to say this, like, if you're in a group and you're not always with that group, especially if they're not in your team, if it's just people that you went in with, if you don't know what happened before you came in or after, then you're only hearing part of the story. So if we're saying this happened and I say you, that doesn't mean that I'm talking about you and your team. It could mean that I'm referring to somebody else that was there at that same time period. And that's where the miscommunication came in, and that's where the whole misunderstanding, and it's bothering me because we do respect this group. Everybody that's come in so far has been phenomenal. Everybody that come in that we watch their videos has been great. Even this situation, I watched the videos. I did respond. I did say I liked the video. I don't know what happened, but we're just letting it at that.
It definitely is, pretty much. And B Squared, it was a live video.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't towards the jail. It was more towards
targeting
people.
Specific people. Yeah, and it was all because of a misunderstanding, misinterpretation of where we were going. And again, it rewinds back to later to address an issue. If anything would have been brought up that night, then it would have never went into any direction that it did. And I have no ill feelings for anybody. I don't. I swear on my grave, if I die tonight, I don't have any ill feelings towards anybody. There never was any ill feelings. So it's just a lot of misunderstanding, misconstrued communication. But there was a couple things that we can't explain. They tried to explain it. I know what I found. I know what happened. I'm not saying that what they're saying is not true, but I can't explain it then. And I said that. That's why we needed to talk. That's why we needed to communicate. And I can't explain certain things that went down that happened. I can't. You'll find out. Just kind of stay tuned. And it's like I said,
If we have to, we'll bring it up later. But right now, it's pretty calm. We don't really have any.
I wouldn't even, like she said, bad review within a video. I wouldn't even say a bad review. It was a targeting and
it was
misunderstanding, miscommunication.
If you consider a view of people, because it wasn't about the jail, but They did say that they're not coming back to the jail.
They did, but boo-hoo. That sounds awful. But again, if something would have been said that night,
The owner said they're not allowed back, so
if something would have been said that night, then, it was simple misunderstandings, but there were certain things that happened that there was proof of. And that's all the further I can go. There was physical proof of some things, and I'm just stopping there because, like I said, this is going to be covered probably in the future, and we want to be very professional about it because, again, I have no hard feelings for anybody. It just bothers me that everything could have been solved either that night or even the next day. I tell everybody, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if there's anything that it's bothering you slightly, anything, contact me immediately. I don't care if it's 2:00 in the morning. If you have a concern with something that's going on, you call me and you say, hey, Diane, listen, like, this is going on. I'm not cutting anybody down, but, can something be done about this? I would have said absolutely. Or anybody that would have been there, if they would have been dressed, if they would have went up and said, hey, can something be done about this? They would have said absolutely. But there was no contact whatsoever of anybody saying that there was any problem. So until we saw that video, we never knew that there was any issues because it was never ever told to us. So, but regardless, this is a whole different show. It's not about that. We want to be careful. Again, not make a big deal out of it. I just want it to end, and it can end with a simple contact saying, hey, I said, let's talk. I don't know. I'm just, we're leaving it at that. Like I said, I have no real feelings.
I could LOL Dylan in the background.
Yeah, Dylan's our residential lurking spirit because he'll pop in and you'll see like his little
You'll see like his glasses
back there. That's not a spirit. That's Dylan back there.
the reflection of his glasses, and it's kind of creepy.
Okay, so off of that topic, and like I said, something will be covered, but we just want to, I just wanted that if there's ever an issue from anybody, just contact us immediately. That's the bottom line. Blossom, welcome.
Seen you in a while.
Dylan is our mascot lurker. He is. He was voted in as the mascot lurker.
Wake the boy.
And you can see Pee Wee back there in the background. There he is, Linda.
He woke him up.
He woke him up specifically so you could see your mascot. You sure it's Dylan? Yeah, I'm sure.
No, it's a floating cat.
Okay, so we're going to get on to our topic. Which one do we want to start with, Gabriella? DejaVu?
Yes.
I know everybody knows what DejaVu is, but I'm going to read the actual definition that they say. DejaVu is a feeling that you've experienced a situation before, even though you know you haven't. It's an illusion of memory that creates a sense of familiarity, but you can't remember the details of the previous experience. So I know we've all experienced deja vu. Mine usually goes with if I go to a certain place and I know 100% for a fact I've been there, but I feel like I have, and I can describe it up to a certain extent, but I cannot tell you what I was doing there or why I was there or anything like that.
Like that one house that we went into in South Carolina that was abandoned, and I told you I had a dream about it.
That's right, and you walked
and I went through every single room, and I was like, "This is where the kitchen is. This is where the dining room is."
DejaVu, or would that be something else? Like maybe you were there before. We all know.
I have to be with you.
Diane and Gabby, happy to catch you live. Finally, yes, we are very happy to have you on and to have you on watching what we're talking about because we do get. I don't know if you were here when Gabriella went into some of her little philosophies on certain things, but it could possibly happen that way tonight. As long as there's not two things that can get frisky with each other, we may be safe. So. No, so that house, like I said, I don't know what would we call that, deja vu?
I don't know, because I could have sworn like I saw it in a dream. And then we went to it and I was like, I'm really familiar with this place. That could have been like a premonition though.
That or something else. I think there is another name for something like that. But haven't you gone
even been astral projection because I felt like I was walking through the house in the dream.
That could be. That could be. That could be.
Astral projection?
Yeah, that's not.
It's weird.
Isn't there another one, Eric, called transcendence? Yeah, isn't that pretty close to
transcending and
astral projection? Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought. But like even when we went to certain grocery stores or where was one place? I think there was a cemetery or something that we went to, and I almost felt like, okay, I've been here and this looks familiar to me, but I know I'd never been there. Can you think of any other places that you think deja vu or experiences like reading a book that you thought you read before? And
I know one. When Dylan took me up to Seven Springs, I was like, this looks familiar, but I know I've never been.
No, you have never been to Seven Springs.
Wow.
Well, I didn't say when. So you're safe. Anyways,
yeah, Little Bigfoot stream. Yeah, yeah. Did you see the one on the Wendigo? That one was priceless.
Wendigo
one had me howling. It really had me howling. That was like
I almost killed her.
Yeah, she did. She got me laughing so hard I started coughing, and I thought I wasn't able to breathe. And I'm there. Okay, she's killing me tonight. I think that was her way of bumping off her mom, burying me in the backyard.
The Wendigo thing. That's just. I mean, that could be.
See, this is where Gabriella and the kids get carried away with. They're trying everything they can to bump me off so they can bury me in the backyard so then they can have a way to have an investigation going on at my gravesite or something.
No, that is not how this is at all.
I see how you is. I see how you be.
No, but the one that I remember specifically now that you asked, it was when we went to Seven Springs and he was driving and there was this one spot. And I was like, I saw this before, but I know for a fact I've never been here. He's like, that's weird.
I think I have one for you too that I remember. Wasn't it when we were down in South Carolina when we were doing an investigation that one night and we were walking up the road and we got to that spot where we heard that whatever that big thing was in the woods that was knocking by that little, you said, Mom, I need to go over here because I feel like I've been here before, but you knew that you never was there before.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah. Because I really wanted to check it out because I could have sworn like in a dream or something I was there and I saw that.
Yeah, I thought that was another place. That's more like where I was growing up at. There was I lived in a small coal mining community in northern Cambria, PA, and there's where they have the middle school now. That was all wooded area, and then there was a hill up above, and there's like an old dirt road that went up and went to an old farm, and then kept on going down to where like there was remnants of another coal mines. Well, up in the one hill up there by where my ex's family lived, where he grew up in the back wooded area, there was a time we went for a walk up there and something about I was never in that area before, and something about it, and they're like, for some reason I think I've been up here before because I think that there's like a shack or pieces of a shed or something up there. And we went up there, and sure enough, there was remnants of like a shed. And I know for a fact that I was never up there. So
The placemat hats are hilarious.
that was a red one.
Yeah.
Yeah. We kind of do crazy ass things. Did you get to see when we had the witch's hat on?
And you had the witch's hat on.
And you know,
I did too at one point.
we had a contest going on way back. And there was one thing, and I don't think anybody ever caught it. Anybody ever remember way back? And I said there was a contest.
I'm actually going to go back on the comments real quick.
If anybody ever caught it, there was something that I did in one of our early videos, and I said if somebody catches it, I was going to give them a gift card, and nobody ever caught it, so nobody ever got the gift card from it. I don't even remember which video it was.
Oh God, I think it was one of the Cody and Satori ones.
It could have been one of the Cody and Satori ones.
I don't think it was that one. It was definitely not that one or that one.
So that's something we haven't touched in a while. We don't like to, but apparently just a second for a few seconds that the owner just got in trouble and arrested for a DUI, but nobody wants to let that go. Just let it go. The lady apparently has some mental issues. Yeah, that's Cody and Satori Conjuring Controversy. She apparently has some severe mental issues. Her family's dealing with it. She's dealing with it. And just let it go. I mean, I don't know what it literally has to be boiling down now that all this drama back and forth for the views or something, because it should be stopped. That should all be dealt with in private. No matter if there's lawsuits, there's slandering going on between her and employees or other people, just do it in private. Let the whole situation go already. It just needs to stop. Like, there's no place for drama. I know there's a lady I really like. I think she's super nice, but there's a lot of drama all the time on videos, and I just I love to tune in that, but I can't handle a lot of the drama. I just can't. And we're going to try to make sure our shows, both of them, are always free from the drama, because it's not going to serve purpose anywhere. So, but she's looking back. It was Cody and Satori, the Conjuring Controversy or something like that. Anyhow, if you go back and look at that video, I have a feather sticking out of my head. I've had a big feather in my head, and I had it on the whole show. And I think it was the next show we said, if you spotted something different in the last show,
that's when my hair was
super red, yeah. Then we were going to give out I think it was a $10. It wasn't much, $10 Walmart gift card or something like that. I missed her comment. What was her comment about the cats, Abby, on the giveaway?
Yeah, nobody commented.
I agree, Blossom. It is very uncomfortable seeing it all being hashed out in public. It shouldn't. Just let it go. Take all care of that business in private. Nobody. Conjuring House is a phenomenal place. I've never been there before. I would love to go there, even if there is no actual hauntings there or anything like that. I just like to go there because of the history of the building and all the stories and that goes with it. But with all this controversy going on around it, it's kind of like, just let it go so people can enjoy the place again.
But there was no comments.
Yeah, so that's what, but we'll do stuff like that again. So kind of keep an eye out, maybe after the holidays are over, or maybe, probably after the holidays. We'll announce it when we're ready to do again. Maybe there's something odd that Gabriella and I will either be wearing. And if sometimes we wear or do weird shit anyhow, but if it's something like that's a little bit out of our ordinary, like maybe a weird set of earrings, or we have a headband on that that has a big eyeball on it or something, that's we normally would not wear, we will tell you that we're going to have a contest. And if there's something, I guess it would be like, and I hate Project Fear and their duck. If you find the duck, if you spot the duck, it won't be quite like that. But if you spot something that we're doing or wearing, or say maybe we go through a video, we might say a key word every 15 minutes or so, like just out of the blue, say, what was that word? Oligodoxophobia?
Yep.
Oligodoxophobia. And we just blurt that out for some reason. Then and we keep on saying that.
Yeah, it'll definitely be more than one.
Yeah, and then that way, then you can text us, comment, say, you're saying that word an awful lot, and okay, bingo, you just won our gift card.
Well, Moonlight says, so you have Easter eggs in your streams we need to look out for now. How fun.
Not right now. That one did. Matter of fact, we had two of them, I think. I had the feather and I had something else another day, I think. Didn't I have like a certain, was it earrings or a bracelet, or you had a certain bracelet on, or there was one other one, but we didn't have a contest. We just put it on to see if anybody would comment. It was something weird, but we just wanted to see if anybody wanted to comment.
Yeah, I don't.
But kind of, yeah, Blossom, keep an eye out for that, because we will be doing that. We will be doing that. Playing catch up.
B Squared said, darn it, I can't convince the feral cats daylight savings time is real.
Okay.
Numbered on votes for tonight's feed.
That is funny. That is funny. That's hilarious. I like that. At that time change, I'm telling you what.
Apparently my computer didn't like it.
No,
because
that's
I had to, that's why we were a little bit late. I had to go into my settings and change my time back because it was set to like 2 hours earlier.
Something like that. And the funny thing about it is she couldn't log on to StreamYard. It says you are not able to log in.
An old version, and it would not let me log into StreamYard until I changed my time back.
You know, here's a good thing maybe we can do, and I'm willing to do it.
Again.
Maybe we'll have a Christmas giveaway. Maybe we'll make up like a little bag, like a basket or a bag. Have some goodies in it, some homemade stuff, maybe a gift card, maybe a couple lottery tickets or something. And we will do something like she said, an Easter egg. And whoever spots it, we won't say anything. We won't say anything. We will give a couple of days where we're going to go live. We will not say anything.
Hold on. If I act normal, something's wrong with me.
That's true. Astral,
either sad or just like something's wrong with me. You need to call the doctor.
It's probably what it is. B squared. YouTube. We can highlight some of these too. YouTube is being cranky, and I think that's what it is. YouTube's being cranky. If Gabby acts normal, does that count? No. Well, yeah, no. It's like she just answered it. I never thought about the animals being that bad. See, yeah, ours was too, Blossom. That's how we started talk before we changed the subject. Our dogs, which Eric and I kind of discussed it like the whole week before the time change, because they, especially in the morning, they have different times. They don't just get up. They will howl. They will do, like, they'll get loud. And I'll have to say, okay, lay back down, go to sleep. It's not time to go out or anything yet. But we kind of anticipated and dreaded the time change, because they were starting to get up, like they would want to go out like maybe 7:30, then it went like 7, then it was 6:30, and it was like 6, and then 5:30, and where they're with the time change and you're having to turn your clocks back, where they're no, they're not getting up at 4:30 in the morning and having us take them out when we got them on a schedule, because we have the dogs on the schedule now and they're doing very well on it. Sia, the German Shepherd, has had a couple little mishaps, but in the last several months, they've been really, really good with their potty breaks and everything and that. So Yeah, the puppies have been really the time change. I think now we kind of started getting them back on a regular schedule, even with the time change now. But I think all the animals did act up because of that. So, Abby says, yeah, Zeus and Aspen were very affected by the time change. Aspen thinks he needs food and cuddles at 8. Yeah, yeah, and that's just it. Yeah, I read that one before. It's not possible for her to act normal.
It is possible.
No,
but
no.
It's on a very
No.
rare occurrence.
And okay, it is very, very rare. It is okay. It is possible, but have we seen it yet?
For yourself.
Hey, they already know that I'm not right. So,
Well, then I wonder where I got it
know that.
I wonder where I got it from.
I didn't sleep well last night, so I woke up to very hungry too. Yes, yes, yes. We've had that too. We've had that too. So it's like, what was it? Was it last night or the night before? I hardly got any sleep at all. And then of course we're trying to get over this sickness that's going around with everybody.
You sure about that?
Abby.
You sure about that?
Abigail.
I think you're the
No.
least
No.
helpful out of
No.
this whole family.
Okay, guys, you're all on here. You're on here. Do you think Abby is the only normal one? Cast your vote. Maybe we should put up the vote. Is Abby the only normal?
I could do a poll.
You probably could.
Oh, good.
I know we can. There's the ticker. Put that ticker. We can,
I
we'll put
forgot
that
about
there
that.
too.
Forgot about that.
We could do a poll. Well, we can actually, like right now, is
No, Linda, you can't stop me.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we got off the subject a little bit. Okay, so we covered deja vu, not very, very well, but we did. Well, there is, if anybody else has any deja vu incidents or stories, just put them on. We'll put them up on the screen and we'll discuss them.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
There's a countdown.
Yeah. Not worried about. We'll put a poll. We'll put a poll on our Real Talk on Facebook page, and we'll take votes. We love the energy y'all have. Oh, thank you, Blossom. We really appreciate that. We try. We do. We do. Abigail, you know what I'm talking about. Then the side eye. Oh my gosh.
Side eye from the animal.
Yep. That's Max.
Max, he gives the side eye all the time. You'll tell him to go to sleep, or it's nap time, or to go in the cage, and he's just like,
You're like, but on, and he'll give me. I call him. We know the side eye guy. Well, we call him the side eye dog or side eye puppy, because he's good for the side eye. So, okay, let's go into premonitions. Okay, the definition of a premonition, which I'm sure everybody knows, is a strong feeling that something is about to happen, especially something unpleasant. He had a premonition of imminent disaster. Now, talking about premonition.
Oh, hold on, internet again. There we go.
Our darn internet. So y'all probably right now have known or heard the story of my premonitions. Mine gets real strong, and it's just not a vision of it. It's like I'll get like really cold shakes. Like I'll get really icy cold and I'll shake to the point, even if you put blanket after blanket, you could put probably a heater right next to me and those shakes will not go away. If I get it to that point, something bad is going to happen. Something bad is going to happen. Abby here's the poll. Where? Right there, straw poll. Right above.
Yeah, but I can't click that.
Click
that. I think the whole thing will disappear.
I don't know. But anyhow, when I was pregnant was I pregnant with Gabriella or was I pregnant with Gabriella or Abby when you and Tom was in that accident? I was
Abby.
I was pregnant with Abby. That was not Gabriella.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were in New York. That's when Tom's family lived in New York, and I was pregnant. I can't remember. Okay, Abby, September, October, November, December. But I think it was because it was right after Christmas. I think between Christmas and New Year's. So I was probably about 5 months pregnant, 4 months pregnant. And when we first left, it was kind of like flurrying, but it was kind of a little bit mixed, like flurry and ice. So it was kind of in between that. And we went with my oldest daughter in the car, and Eric was driving with Tom ahead of us. Well, we got partway, maybe a third of the way, and I started getting that really icy coldness. And I told my daughter, my oldest daughter, I said, something happened to the guys. Something's happening. Something, I can see them. Something's happening to them. And I'm shaking. I said, I'm freezing to death. And she turned up her heater. I could feel the heat, but it didn't make any difference to me. I kept on shaking and shaking and shaking and shaking. Well, as we got further along, it kept on getting worse. And I said, I'm telling you, I can literally now, I can see they're in an accident. There's something on the road. They swerved so they wouldn't hit it. The road had like black ice on it or something, and the car slid, and it's going to flip over the roof and land in a ditch. They were in an accident. And she says, Mom, no, come on now. You're pregnant. You're just, they're ahead of us. You're worried, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, I can physically see it. I see it happening. And she kept on saying, Mom, no, it's just you're pregnant. Just calm down. I'm telling you, I could see it. Well, we drove a little further, and I see a guy standing in the middle of the road. And then they're like, what's the guy doing? And they're like, oh my God, it's Tom. Sure enough, it was Tom. And he flagged us off. He says, be careful. There's something on the road there. We swerved. And I looked, he said, we were in an accident. The car was literally in a ditch, but instead of it being and flipping like it should have, because it hit the bankment, it should have flipped. It hit the bankment and it landed down. Now, Tom told me it was almost like some kind of unexplainable force lifted it up and kind of plopped it down there, because he said literally it should have flipped, or if it wouldn't have, it would have went further, and there was a big pole sticking up. They would have crashed into that pole. But I saw that whole vision, and I told him that. I said, Tom, I knew you were in an accident. I saw it happen. And my oldest daughter looked at me like, and they're like, she knew that, okay, Mom, like, you're not crazy. It's not because you're pregnant. You saw this happening before it did. And that's happened since then. People in my family that I knew they were going to pass on that day, they passed on. I got that uncontrollably cold shake. I'm there. I'm going to get a phone call. This person is dying, or they're going to tell me.
Remember that as clear as day
With
with
my mom and Aunt Chris. I had both of the feelings for both of them.
with Grandma.
Yep.
They were very young.
Yep.
And like we were old enough, but we were
Yep.
young. And you said, I have these really bad shakes. I can't get over it. Something's wrong. And next thing you know, they called you and they're like,
They told me at work. I was at work, and they called me up and said, Mom passed away. And I knew it at work. I had that. I even told them up there, I said, something's not right. Something bad is going to happen. And I'm pretty sure I know who it's going to be. And sure enough, I got that phone call. Blossom, you're right. When I get these, it scares me, because very rarely will it be something milder than what the feeling is that I get. But when I normally know if it gets that strong where I shake and get that icy cold and tremble that bad, it's not going to be good. It's not. Matter of fact, I had that feeling when you guys was in your act. Wasn't real intense, but I told your dad that something's not right. Something is not right. And he called me. He says, "Hon, we got to go." And I said, "Why?" He said, "The kids were in an accident." I knew it. I felt something before you guys had that accident. But I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it was going to be with you guys. I just felt something was going to happen. I didn't necessarily that one that it was going to be you guys.
One time, remember with Sheila?
Yeah.
My old friend Sheila, the one day it was just really weird. I started kind of almost having a panic attack, but I knew something was wrong. I was like, I don't know why I feel this way, but I feel like something is just wrong. Seriously, keep that sounds intense. How do you manage?
We'll finish yours and then we'll.
I just felt like something was wrong, and I kept on. I was living in a camper with my sister and my brother-in-law at the time, and I kept on telling them I was like, I'm really shaky, like something's wrong. I don't know what, but something's wrong. I need to call all my friends. So I called my best friend. She said, "No, nothing's wrong here. I think you just need to calm down. You just need to relax. You're just having a panic attack. You know, that just happens." I'm like, not for me. I don't have panic attacks just like out of the blue. But
Usually when you do, something's going on.
But so I called a few other friends. They all said they were fine. Sheila, I called her, and it turns out that she was pregnant and her ex-boyfriend was abusive, and he was like hitting her and a whole bunch of stuff. And I was like, "Well, I just hope that you're okay." Like, I could for some reason sense that you were not doing okay. I just wanted to call and make sure that everything's fine. She's like, "Yeah, I'm out of that situation now, but it was pretty intense. Like, he threw me against a wall and I fell down and everything." I was like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay? You know, is the baby okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, we're fine. You know, I appreciate you for calling and everything, and I don't know how you felt that, but."
Didn't you have one about me one time too, where you thought something was going on with me and I did get real sick or I fell or something? Seems to me like you had one about me one time too, where you sensed that something wasn't right, like you were not home. And you said, "Mom, I'm calling up. Is everything okay?" I said, "Well, I just fell or I'm not feeling good or something happened." I believe that you called me up
I think it
something. I think I fell or
I think
something.
it fell.
And you,
Because I'm kind of like Mom in that sense, but I don't get like the shakes or anything. I either get just like a really bad feeling or
no, we can put that back up because I'm going to read it. We're going to,
oh, I thought you already read it.
no, huh? I didn't.
I just get like a really bad feeling or like a panic attack almost.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
would
get
say,
like
I
the
would,
shakes.
yeah. Yours goes more into like anxiety or a panic
Yeah, like
attack
I
or
just
something.
start shaking
I've
like
had one
crazy and
panic attack in my life, and that freaking thing is scary to have a panic attack. And I don't know, I don't remember what brought it on, but yeah. Okay, Blossom had, yes, my son and I had DejaVu experience, and I have premonitions occasionally as well. I don't experience the shakes like you do. That sounds intense. How do you manage? I can't manage it. I wish I could, but I just kind of cope with it and hope and pray that when I get them that intense, that it's going to be a wrong premonition, that nothing's going to happen. But so far, every time that's happened, I could pretty much know that something was going to happen. Um, but yeah, you really can't control it. Now, I get the shakes and stuff and that. Like I see things sometimes. Is there anything else up there? Like before they happen, but nothing. If it's that intense, then something's going on. I can almost.
so I guess B squared is kind of like me. She said, just know things sometimes. It's very certain and strong, but thankfully no shaking. My shaking only begins when the panic attack like starts. I don't shake initially, I just have that feeling, and then when I start freaking out because I know something is wrong or something is just about to happen, I start shaking and having a panic attack and just, like, can't breathe and just I hate when that happens.
Abby, put Abby's up.
Hold on, you're feeling tuned, have you tried?
Oh, okay, I didn't see that. Have you tried to hone any of your abilities in another way?
I think tune. I think that's what it's supposed to say.
No, well, hone in. Didn't you ever hear that expression, hone in?
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
stupid.
What both of us have tried, like I've tried meditating, I've tried, I guess they say trying to open up your third eye. I want to be able to hone into it a little bit more, but at the same time, I kind of get a little bit nervous about that because if I have those type of premonitions and those type of feelings that strong now, what's going to happen if I can hone into it completely? Like it's hard to explain. I mean, in a way, I wish I could, and in a way,
I for my when we lived in our old house, because I tried to figure out what was in my room and what it wanted, and the internet, and and like all sorts of things, like why it was trying to communicate with me and everything. And I think I did open my third eye at least halfway.
yeah, yeah, because I notice things affect you more now from that time than what it did even down there.
And it's a little bit scary, not gonna lie. But the only thing, another ability that me and mom kind of both have is what's it called when you touch
Psychometry.
psychometry. We pulled out old pictures of like
My mom, when I was a baby, different things like that.
yeah, it was like her childhood, and the one picture, it didn't have anything like this in it at all, but for some reason when I closed my eyes and put my hand on the picture and kind of like cleared my mind, I could see a train going by and a fence and a dirt road.
There's a train not too far from us. There's a train that went
That's what
by.
I could see, and that's when she said that, and I was like, well, I didn't know that, and how could I know that? That's where she grew up.
Yeah, yeah. Abby says, didn't you have a feeling like that at the Oakwood Cemetery when we had that investigation? Eric, how did it go? Okay. Um, yeah, I did, Abby. It wasn't right at the beginning. I felt uncomfortable after which is, I wouldn't say that it was anything on that order, like premonition or anything. I had that uncomfortable feeling because we knew they were dabbling with Ouija boards or doing a ritual, whatever they were doing. But when we started getting questions, and it was like, right, especially at the point where you broke down and you cried because one of the spirits said, "Am I dead?" And it affected you. Shortly after that, I just started getting a feeling, okay, this is going to go south. Something is going to happen tonight. I don't know. But if you remember, I even said when we were there, I don't get scared. And nothing, we might get uncomfortable, but not to the point where I want us to leave. Well, if you remember, at that one point, I said, I'm not liking the feeling that I'm getting. Something's here. If we don't leave, something's going to happen and we need to leave now. And we hurried up and got in the car and left. And sure enough, we had whatever that was going on that night. So yeah, I did have that feeling that I don't, Lord, I don't know what would have happened if we would have stayed there. I don't.
I honestly think we would have like
Something would have happened. I never get that feeling. Something would have happened. So yeah, you're
yeah, I think we would have died that night if we didn't get out of there as quickly as we could.
what's okay. Let's see.
Oh, Gabby, I hope your friend is okay now. She is doing well. I'm not really friends with her anymore because of drama, and she's also my ex's sister. So I really don't want anything to do with that family anymore. But at the time, She was a really good friend of mine, and
Gabrielle is like me. Even if somebody does you wrong, though, and you find out something happened, you still get very concerned and worried. It's one thing that if you part ways, but you still have a heart.
yeah,
You still have a
friends with
heart.
her on like
Yeah.
Facebook and everything. So I check up on her and everything, like just to make sure that everything is okay. But I don't really talk to her anymore. So
Well, that's like where I worked. I treated everybody very, very well, and there was that problem. But if something happened to any of them, they know. I told them, I said, I love you guys. You guys are like my family. And, I don't try to hold those type of grudges with them. I just don't do it.
but she's doing well. She has 2 kids now, and she's living her best life.
B squared says, I used to freak out my hubby by narrating things right before they happened on TV. He said my voice went flat or inflectionist. Weird feeling. They laugh at me. Go ahead.
Yeah. So mom has a habit of putting on a movie, and then every single time she's like, I bet you this is gonna happen. This is how it ends. This is gonna be the twist. This is what's gonna happen. We're like, Mom, if you just ruin the movie for us, and turns out she does every single time.
And it'll be a brand new movie, something none of us have ever seen, but
She will ruin it every single time. And we're like,
intentional.
dang it, Mom, we want to watch one movie without you ruining the ending.
It's not intentional.
Because they're all good movies too.
Yeah.
She always picks the really good movies, and then it really hooks you in, and you're like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? Sometimes you can predict it by yourself, but most of the time, she's the one to predict it, and she ruins it for everybody else.
I'm sorry. I don't try that. I don't do it every time. A lot of times I'm wrong, but sometimes there's certain movies that I'm watching and
most of the time.
I just get that feeling, hey, this is how it's going to end. So Blossom goes, well, Diane, that's good. You listen to your intuition. Yeah. I not all the time, but if something is that strong, I go with my intuition that, hey, this is what's going to happen. And, I go with intuition and
Blossom said, that's incredible, Gabby. You picked up on the train. Yeah. The funny thing is,
it wasn't only the train and the fence. I think you said something about didn't you say something about an outhouse? You saw an outhouse or something. And I said, when I was first growing up, when I was little, there was an outhouse in our backyard.
A train, there was a fence, I think there was an outhouse, and there was a dirt road. And that's all I saw.
Right where I lived.
But it was so weird because it was like, it wasn't just one whole picture. It was like snippets of different pictures.
Right where I lived, there is right here, and there's the street. And when you go up the street, there was a set of railroad tracks that went by. There was pieces of an old fence on some of it, especially as you went further up the hill. And in our backyard, we had an outhouse for a long time, and we tore it down. We didn't use it. It was just there when our family bought it. It was left there, but eventually they tore it down. But there was an outhouse on that yard. So
the craziest part about that is I didn't know where she grew up. I didn't know anything about it. And we kind of just did it because we saw
Cindy Kaza
do it, and we were like, we're kind of in tune with, our the spiritual realm and spirits and everything else. So we're gonna try this. We might seem crazy. We might just this might just be absolutely insane, but we're gonna try it. So one day she pulled out the wooden box that we got from an old house that had a bunch of pictures from her childhood in it, and she's like, take this one. And I was like, okay. Put my hand on it, closed my eyes, cleared my mind, and then I told her what I saw, and she's like, that's crazy because, and then she said there was a train and there was a fence, and I was like, oh, interesting.
That was when the old dirt road was there before they paved the road and everything and took out the railroad tracks and put the new middle school there. Blossom goes, Squared and Diane need spoiler alert stickers. And then go down to B Squared goes, I do that too, Diane, but I keep my mouth shut. That's another thing. I don't mean to do it intentionally. I just like, I guess I'm thinking, but I think out loud and it comes out, and then I'm not realizing, hey, like, if this comes true, if this is how it's going to be, they're going to say, okay, you ruined another movie for us, Mom. And so, I mean, I don't do it intentionally, but it just kind of happens. So.
Yeah, it's like in the moment thing. It's like she gets excited that she thinks she knows what happens, and then she tells us, and we're like, Mom,
Yeah.
I swear. But Blossom, when she was talking about how she can save things before
Blossom, very eerie.
it happens.
B squared says at Blossom, very eerie for him. Sometimes I wasn't too aware of it. Other times it was something I could take action on. So no helpless feeling of why do I know this?
Yeah, that is so strange.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's something like, you wish you could explain, but you can't. And for me, like, at least I know to be prepared. Depending on the intensity of my feelings, I know to be prepared. Because if it's something mild, then I'm there. I have the feeling that something's going to happen, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be with our family. It's just something's going to happen. We're going to get some kind of news. But if it gets that intense where I am so icy cold and I tremble, then usually it's involving a family member. And that's when I get scared and I wish I could control it, but you can't.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just get like panic attacks or like anxiety attacks when it happens. I mean, I do shake, but I don't get cold or anything like that. I don't initially shake, but like I said, it's just like you get that overwhelming feeling of something's wrong. I don't know what I can do about it. And you just start shaking and having like a full on panic attack. Abby said, especially the movies that aren't meant to be figured out, like the brain teaser movies, like horror movies are predictable, but the mind teaser ones, she always knows how it ends. Yep.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry for what I do.
It's nice to be amongst fellow sensitives. We can freak out normal folks.
Yeah, thank you. Put that up. Put B squareds up. She goes, so nice to be amongst fellow sensitives. We can freak out normal folks. Exactly, B squared. See, I like that.
On investigations, sometimes on investigations, I will have this feeling that something is not right in one section. Like I'll be like, "Oh, I don't like it over there. Don't go over there because something bad is gonna happen." Every single time that I've said that, either Chase went over there or Bloom went over there or somebody went over there, something bad happened.
That's true.
And so now everybody believes me when I say don't go over there. It's kind of creepy. There's something over there that does not want us over there.
I can swear to that. If we go on an investigation, especially the times I've been with her, if she tells you, hey, I just don't have a good feeling, there's something not right, I would not go over there, which I'm one of those too that I'm guilty. And usually she's right on. Well, Kiwi goes, which Linda wondered where Gabby got her weirdness from. Thanks, Linda.
Practically twins.
Thanks,
So
Linda.
Had to get it from somewhere. Absolutely, Gabby. You can have a very visceral reaction sometimes. Yes.
It's true. It's true.
Oh man, Abby, you and your long statements.
Abby, I think I have gotten more sensitive because Chase wanted to go fishing with a family member, and I told him no. I had a nightmare and had bad feelings about it. Sure enough, the day he was going to go, his family member's car wouldn't start, and the boat had a hole in it.
I remember that day.
Yep. I think everybody has that ability, that feeling, but it's just certain people just has it more intensely. Mine just happens to be, I mean, like I said before, I hate it, but I like it at the same time because at least if I know how bad the shakes and I get, then I know normally who it's going to affect. And I can't control it. I can't do anything about it, but at least I'm aware that something's going to happen.
So with my Blossomon said, so with my son and I, it's almost like we can read each other's minds at times. Example, I will be thinking to myself, we should go to our favorite Thai restaurant. Before I even mention it to him, he walks into the room and says, we should go get Thai for lunch.
Yep. Yep.
Yes, we do.
Yep. Yep.
All the time.
That's definitely happened. That happened just the other day about something I can't remember was. And the funny thing about it is we said the exact same thing at the exact same
There
time.
was that one, and then she was thinking about something. I think it was a snack or something. I was like, I came back like a few hours later with that snack, and I gave it to her.
Yeah. I can't remember, but yeah.
It was York peppermint patties.
Yeah, that was yeah.
She really wanted York peppermint patties. It's almost like I read her mind. I was like, Mom would really
That
like
was
these.
from my birthday. That was on my birthday.
Yeah,
yep, that was my birthday.
She hasn't had these in a while. I think she'd really like these. She loves them. So I got them for her, and turns out she's craving them.
Don't worry about your typos. We all do it, Blossom. We're all human. I do them all the time.
B Squared said, Blossom, I'm like that with my mom, but our favorite gift is calling one another when we're puking.
I think everyone does that on occasion.
Happy said, it's safe to say after that feeling so intensely, but my fear comes from my nightmares, which a lot of times happen, but I can prevent them sometimes.
Well, they say if you have a really intense nightmare, really, really intense, that's usually, your dreams usually are trying to tell you something, and nightmares could be kind of a form of a premonition, something that is.
Speaking of nightmares, the one that freaked me out the most is in the old house. I had this nightmare of this guy in a top hat. He was a demon, and he was in our living room, and everything looked exactly the same as it was when I was awake. Everything was in the same position. It was almost like he was just staring at me from the doorway of that room, and it was a guy with very sharp teeth and a top hat, and he had a suit and tie on, and I remember him so vividly. The next day, I drew him, and it turns out that all around the world, people have seen this said demon with a top hat, and I was like, oh, it's wonderful. Saw that in our fucking living room.
Yeah, it's funny, which I hate to say it's not funny, but it is funny because she was telling me this, and the night that she said that she had this dream or vision or whatever, she literally drew the picture. And then we were watching shows and everything, and it came out that people all around the country, well, all around the world, have said they saw this guy with the top hat and these gnarly teeth and a suit and tie. Yeah, she drew the picture. She showed me. She said, look, Mom. Blossom goes, my son and I do the same, and we say jokingly, oh my gosh, get off my schedule. Yeah, it's like you can't think for yourself because somebody's already tuning into your thoughts. Yeah, they're already tuning into your thoughts, so it's so funny. You do get nightmares. Well, Abby gets nightmares yet, but yeah, thank goodness, because I tell you, B Squared, getting those nightmares, sometimes they're so intense that you wake up and you don't know how to feel during the course of the whole day because because you had that nightmare, it's already kind of blown or thrown your whole following day off because you have it on your mind all day. Abby says she's grateful, or B Squared said that. Let me see. B Squared, let's see. Abby says, B Squared, I don't get them as often as I used to. I have a dream catcher by my bed, so that probably helps. The last nightmare I had was months ago. I usually just have bizarre dreams, but nothing scary. You have Amy coming to you in your dreams, Abby, yet too. And each time that she comes to you, you're getting a little bit more information. So I kind of don't think it's a normal dream. I think it's a lot of people, when they dream, if they said that it's that vivid, she's contacting you through your dreams. So you're having night visitors, I think, or a night visitor that shows up in your dreams to try to communicate with you. Yeah, your Linda goes, as adults, we are told not to believe in dreams and premonitions. We're I understand families want to protect like their children and teenagers and that. And no, there's no such thing as a boogeyman. No, there's no such thing as a ghost. But I've taught my girls, all of my kids and that from the time they were small, that anything's possible. But I taught them not to be afraid of everything, so they did watch horror movies. They did watch like shows where they talked about spiritual happenings and stuff and they got used to it and they got to understand it because I allowed them to be open to, hey, there's a lot of things that's going to happen in your lifetime. You're not going to be able to explain it, but at least by watching this, you might have a better understanding of it. So all of the kids were shown that from a very young age that, hey, you go to your parents. Parents should be honest. There's a lot of things that can't be explained. Let's see, extra things.
There he is.
Kiwi, Blossom says, true, Kiwi, it gets pounded into our heads to doubt ourselves to brush it off. It's not right. Here's the picture she drew, if you can see it right there. Like but it had the top hat, it had the suit on, it had the big gnarly teeth. It was just real creepy guy. And ironically, she drew that a while ago, but ironically when we moved up here, we started watching some of the like unexplained shows and stuff and that. And there was a topic on this man here with the top hat and the gnarly teeth and the suit, and people have been seeing him all around the world. So like that kind of freaked her out, and understandably.
Yeah, the I don't think it would freak me out as much if like I saw him in a different location or anything, but it was in our living room.
Yeah.
Like I saw him staring at me in our living room.
She told me that the next day, and I'm like, oh shit.
With everything that was in the same place as it was when I woke up.
Yeah. I don't know. Blossom says, Diana, I love that you encourage them and so open to talking that. Well, I think it's real important that you have to teach your kids to be aware of anything, because it's like I just said, there's so many things that we can't explain going on in the world that you have to keep your kids. You need to teach them. You need to make them aware that there's not everything that's going to happen to them. There's going to be an explanation for, but not to be afraid to go to somebody. Don't be afraid to tell somebody. I think that's what a lot of kids, a lot of kids experience stuff like they see a spirit or they see something and they're afraid to tell their parents because it was pounding in their head. No, that's not true. That's not true. And right away, if they do, they take them and get them psychiatric help or something. No, you need to teach your kids, listen to them when they're telling you. And if they're very, very adamant about it and keeps on going on and on and on, then you better pay attention to them because probably what they're telling you is not made up. They're seeing something or hearing something. Listen to them. Kids aren't stupid. They're more in tune to a lot of things than what we are.
Although I once dreamed.
Be squared.
Although I once dreamed I didn't go to college and lived in a totally different life, it was so convincing I had to go look for my diploma. That threw me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dreams will tell you a lot of stuff. Like it's almost, in some cases, like an open gate to things that are going to happen or things that has already happened that you didn't realize. There is something that I dreamt about that happened to me as a kid. And apparently when it happened to me, I must have blocked it out. And I had a very vivid dream about that one incident. and they're like, oh my God, what happened to me? So to this day, I don't know if something happened to me at that incident and I blocked it out or what. I can't get into it because I just, yeah, I can't get any further than that. But that would be terrifying to see, especially the gnarly teeth. She was terrified.
When we found that episode of whatever it was that we were watching, and they started bringing that thing up, I was like, Mom, I've seen that. I have actually seen that, and I drew it. And I actually showed her the next morning when I drew it. I was like, Mom, I don't know what this is supposed to mean. I hope it's not anything bad, but he kind of looked like a demon and he was standing in our freaking living room.
And of course, I didn't look at her and say, Gabriella, you're full of shit. My words, and she can confirm it. I said, oh shit. And they're like, okay, we're going to have to kind of watch and stuff like that. Yeah. Um, Blossom, don't apologize for bad grammar. This is, nobody's judging anybody or anything. You're human. We love you. Yeah. I do typos. I sometimes, if you hear me talk and I talk like I've got mental illness or something. So don't ever apologize. Yeah, yeah. So Abby, says we got the best mom. Thank you, Abby. You know how I love my kids so much. All my kids. I do. I love kids.
We wouldn't trade her.
We do. I've got the best, most wonderful family ever. So I can't complain on that aspect. Blossom said, yeah, I agree. We have to listen to our kids. Please do so, people. Please. There's so many families. The kids will say, Mom, there's something going on in my closet. There's something going on in my room. Or I saw this shadow there. And they're, oh, honey, no, it's nothing. You're just seeing things. Check it out. Be an investigator of sorts. Go out and see if you can debunk it and show the kid, hey, honey, no, look, watch this. This car is going to go by, or this is going to go by. It's going to cast that shadow. That's what you saw. Or, oh, honey, look, no, when mommy and daddy goes to go into the bathroom, when the door opens, it reflects a certain way, in the room. It casts a shadow. Assure them first, but if you can't assure them, believe what they say and just comfort them and let them know that you're there for them and that you're not going to just throw out what they're saying out the window. I mean, you have to be there for your kids. I've never doubted anything my kids told me and never ever looked at them and say, oh, you're full of shit. Like sometimes they'll say that to them teasingly when they'll say that and they'll go, no, Mom, I'm not lying. And they're, are you serious? And then, yeah. And then I'll sit and I'll listen and they're like, oh my gosh. And then sometimes it's similar to something like she's experienced a lot of things very similar to what I've experienced, both paranormal and actual life, which is uncanny. So, Blossom says, LOL, thanks, Squared. Glad we all understand each other. I think we all do. Blossom also goes, I love the love y'all show each other. We love each other to death. We are such a close-knit family. And the funny thing about it is Abby's married. Her and Chase lives in an apartment that's connected to our house that we rented out to them. Gabriella is with her boyfriend. They're going to be here. My son's still at home. His daughter's not that far away. We don't want to be far away from each other. So we like that closeness and knowing that if something happens, we're there for each other. And we went through some pretty tough times, but it was us being so closely knit that pulled us through these tough times. You're all lucky to have each other and encourage weirdness and open-mindedness. True, true, true. Why I love kindred spirits. I do like, I know there's some groups that really don't like kindred spirits, but I like Amy, and I'll tell you what, and Adam, I think the two of them, I think they're great investigators, and I like the chemistry that they have between them when they investigate. So, but I mean, everybody, I personally, I hate to say it, I watch Twin Paranormal. We watch them. Yeah, they get crazy. They are like, and I know that they're out for a lot of views, but I watch them and And I tell you, despite the craziness and that, they are good investigators. I don't care what anybody, they are good
If they
investigators.
show up to the jail, I'm gonna fangirl the out of them.
Yeah, I mean, so, but it's to each their own. No, nobody needs to, just because I like them. There's people that like the overnight boys. I can't stand them. To me, they are like trying to be exactly like Zach Bagan.
The one,
Elton.
Elton.
Yep, Elton.
He's the one that just like takes over the show and makes it nauseating.
I know, I see too that there's been big drama between them and Corey since Corey left the show.
Yeah.
So there's drama going on that too. So, um, yeah. Well, I like Kindred Spirits. Does any of you guys like Dead Files? Have any of you watched Dead Files? Did you like that with Amy?
There was a rumor going around saying that was like completely fake.
I don't know, because Steve DeJavu was on there and he was a retired cop. I'd hate to think that he would be involved in fakery.
Maybe he didn't know.
Well, that's true because they don't know what they're doing ahead of time. I don't know. Okay, we're going to leave off of this because our next one is into astral projection. Now, the definition for astral projection is a spiritual practice that involves intentionally sending one consciousness out of their body and traveling to a different plane of existence. It's based on the idea that people have a subtle body called the astral body that can function independently of the physical body. Do I believe in astral projection? 100%, absolutely yes. And why? Because I believe that I've astral projected at least once, if not twice.
You can tell your stories and I'll tell mine, and then I'll tell what happened to Dylan.
When Tom and I was just first talking to each other and started getting close with each other, he was in a hotel because he used to drive the big motor coach buses and he'd be on trips all the time. Well, I was at home and he was in a hotel, and he calls me like the next day and he said, hon, he said, I had like an incredible dream that you were standing there right in front of me and you visited me and you said, honey, go ahead and sleep. I'm here with you. And I said, what time was that? And he goes like 4:01 or something like that. I said, you're kidding me, right? He says, no. He says, because I said, well, thanks, honey. Okay, I'll go to sleep. And he said he looked at the clock and it was like 4:01. Well, at that exact same time, I saw myself standing in front of him at the hotel room and telling him, hey, honey, you need to go to sleep. You need to go to sleep. And he says, okay. He says, I'll go sleep. And I was able to describe what the hotel room looked like and everything. So I'm 100% positive that I astral projected. Your turn.
With me, this is another story of our old house. I think that I astral projected because it felt so real.
I know you did.
And what happened was I was walking down our sidewalk the whole way to the park. When I got to the park, there was this little boy. He had a blue shirt on. He had little tan shorts on, and I think he wanted to tell me something, but I couldn't hear him. I could see his lips moving like he wanted to talk to me and tell me something, but I told him, I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I don't know what you need or what you want from me or anything, but I can't help you." So, after a little bit of trying to talk to him, he went his separate way because I asked him like, "Where's his parents?" and or where's his guardians or anything, and he, like I said, he was almost like a mute. I couldn't hear anything he was saying. And I headed back to the house, and as soon as I stepped foot in the house, I woke up on the bed. vivid because I could remember myself. Like, I was like, it was like I was in that moment. I could feel the wind and I could feel like I was actually walking to the park. And I was like, why am I out here? Like, I was so confused. I was like, why am I out here? And then I got to the park, saw this little boy, and he was trying to tell me something. And this is when I realized it was like a dream or something because I couldn't hear him. Whatever he was trying to tell me, I felt so bad because I was like, I can't help you. Go try to find your parents. I really wish there was something I could do for you, but I'm gonna head back home. So I started walking back home, stepped foot in the house, and I woke up.
I believe, I mean, it happened to me. B Squared says, I was thinking of Amy that did the paranormal show with the NY Cop. Yeah, Kindred Spirits had Amy Bruni and Adam, I don't remember his last name. Adam, I can't remember what his last name is. Dead Files had Amy Allen in it and Steve DeShavi in it, which was the retired New York cop. So if that's the one you were thinking. And then Amy Allen left and Cindy Kaza came in and they tried to say that the show closed down because of Cindy Kaza, and they said, no, no, no. It's just Amy wanted to go her own direction because she opened up her own she sells like haunted stuff and I guess jewelry and jewelry, crystals, antiques and stuff like that, I believe. So
stop reaching over to my mouth. Get your greasy.
Kiwi goes, they didn't say, oh no, Ron, the paranormal is not to be feared. I mean, they are fine. I mean, because I like they have clickbait titles every time, like the night that we got trapped in Diablo's dungeon or something like that, or the night we almost died. You know, they have that. I just enjoy watching them. I
think that they do that just to make the haters mad.
And you know, we've talked about it before too. You know, a lot of people, I think, was it Mythos or Beardo? I think it might have been Mythos came out and was making fun of him, kept on saying, maybe it was Beardo. 27-year-old, and they act like that. You know, 27-year-old. Who freaking cares how old I act? If you let me go in a toy store once, and those things that say the push buttons on them, I'll go down the aisle and push the try me button on every single one of them. Come on.
Yeah, every time I go to Walmart or something, Bill takes me to Walmart. I'm like, who button?
Yeah. I mean, come on. And this is the same as sometimes when we're doing investigating. Of course, we take our investigating seriously, but sometimes it kind of gets so intense that you want to do something to break the ice. So you do act silly or you crack a joke or.
Yeah, it's like
our internet just again, but yeah, go ahead.
It's like, you can't be serious the whole time. Mother, let go of the mouse. You're off duty.
Click on shit.
I click it.
Okay, go ahead, continue.
You can't be serious all the time because that'll just not make it fun. Like, you don't want to make it, like, not entertaining and you got, like Mom said, you got to break the ice.
Yeah, sometimes you go into place and it's just like if you know a place is supposedly supposed to be really intense, full of activity, and just to stop the nervousness and that before you go in. Like I think that's what they do a lot. They know that there might be possibly a lot of activity, so they do that weird shit before they start. But I mean, we've done that before. You know, if it kind of gets like, okay, things are going in a certain direction, we see how it's going. Let's crack a joke. Let's do something to break the ice a little bit. So
that burp is like
pork chop and ribs.
No, it's ribs and coffee.
Oh, ribs and coffee. Go ahead. What? Put that.
Blossom said I watched Twin Paranormal as well, not as much anymore. More of their earlier stuff. Lately I've been watching Katrina and Heather Patty's episodes.
I need to watch Katrina's, especially considering that Travel of the Dead is going to be coming to the jail here soon. I hate saying it. I have not seen any of their new episodes. And Katrina, I'm telling you what, I think that girl rocks. Like, she's got balls. She'll go into places that a lot of the men won't even think about going, and she's brave. She is not afraid of anything. B squared said, I'm not sure if I've astral projected, but pretty sure I've done remote viewing. Explain to me, I mean, I know what it is, but why you think you had remote viewing and not astral projected? What exactly happened to you that you can that you think that you didn't?
I've definitely remote viewed one time. Well, and actually a few times. Like, Dylan likes to put on shows before he goes to bed, so like YouTube or whatever. I can like see the image of whatever it is on the screen with my eyes closed. Like, that's remote viewing. Like, you can describe something without.
Yeah, I know what I can't really explain. Let me give the actual stuttering a lot tonight. I must be retarded. Remote viewing is the practice of using the mind to gain impressions about a distant or unseen subject.
Yeah, so
I've had that. The goal is to provide information about a person, object, event, or location that is hidden from physical view.
yeah, so like he'll put on a video, a YouTube video or movie or something, because we need that noise to fall asleep. And I'll have my eyes closed, but I don't know exactly what's happening or like what color. Because I've even kind of like tested myself. I'll see the colors in my head and I'll be like, okay, it's somewhere in the desert. I can see this person, I can see the dirt road, I can see the like cactuses and the sand and everything. I can see it all. Then I open my eyes and that's exactly what I see.
But see, I think too, with B squared's comment, I think they can both be hand in hand, because I think with astral projection, you can you can do a remote viewing and see something, but if you're from far away, you're remote viewing, you're like actually seeing it from far away, but you're here. But if you're actually seeing it at that point of view, like you're standing there where you're seeing this, then you probably astral projected there in order to be able to like more of the open. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Like, am I
I
being
know what
confusing?
you're talking about. It is a little confusing, but
I think they can go hand in hand, but I'm not sure. What would Linda? It's a great theory, Linda. What did she say? Oh, that was funny.
even had the last name in it.
Was the little boy a spirit? Blossoms.
Okay, so honestly, I'm not sure if I believe that he might have been, because I didn't see any like parents or guardians or any. It was almost like he was lost. I was like, I asked him, I said, "Are you lost? Where are your parents? Where are your guardians?" And he was talking to me, but I could not hear him. It was like it's like when they say when you astral project, you're on a different plane. Well, I guess instead of it being like in the spirit realm where most people go when they astral project, it was on a different plane to where I could see him and could feel him and everything, but I could not talk to him.
But see, that's how, well, no, because I did talk to your dad when I ended up in that hotel room that day, and he was, I think, in New York in a hotel. I know he was on a trip, and I was in Watkins.
So I'm thinking that he was a spirit, because
I think so.
I really couldn't understand anything that he was trying to say to me. And he had like no parents or guardians. There was nobody else there at the park, just me and this little boy. And I was like, "Are you lost? Where are your parents? Like, what's going on?" And I was like, how can I help you? Like, I don't know what to do." And I felt bad. I was like, "You can go to your parents now." And I don't know if that like sent him across like to the white light, or if like what happened to him, because I just headed back home. And then when I headed back home and opened the door, I was back to.
Yeah, I think he was trying to tell you something. I think maybe he was trying to tell you what happened to him, or he felt close to you in some way or connected to you in some way. B squared says, I don't look my age or act my age, damn it. Age isn't mine. That's the way it should be though, like I just turned 65 and damn it, I'm not gonna let that age make me feel that age. I'm gonna go to a store. If I see those push me buttons, try me buttons, I'm gonna push them. That kid's gonna come out of me. I might not be able and agile as what I was at one time, but I'm gonna do my best. Blossoms. Blossom. LOL, Diane. Same. Kid at heart still. Hey, it's nice to honor our inner child once in a while. Exactly. I think it keeps you young. Just because you're aging calendar wise doesn't mean you need to act it all the time. Like I've had somebody make a comment, well, geez, Diane, why don't you act your age? Why? Like as long as I'm not hurting anybody and I'm not doing something totally ridiculous and it's hurting somebody in the long run, hey, it's like,
Stay tuned is here.
hey, stay tuned. How are ya? You missed a lot. You'll have to rewind and watch. We are going on our 2-hour mark here already, which
Because we kind of like.
well, we got some good subjects going here tonight. The astral projection, premonition, deja vu.
Paul says you don't need to see a silver cord if you are astral projecting. I always thought you did, so I guess it's possible, but I wonder if you feel like you're traveling with.
See, when I asked, and I'm still saying I astral projected, I was there. Like I didn't feel myself traveling or anything. It almost seemed like I was dreaming, but I was standing there in front of him on the bed, in front of the bed, and I saw that he was restless, and I said, "Hon, you need to get sleep." And he said, "Okay, hon, I'll go to sleep." And when he told me the next day, he says, "Boy, I had a real vivid dream that like you were right there." And that's when I said, "Well, what time was it?" And he told me, I said, "Don, that's when I woke up." And
I have another story of astral projection. It's actually about my boyfriend, Dylan. He was recently sick and he worried me because I'd never seen him like this sick. Mother, leave the dang mouse alone. Just wait. He was recently sick and he was bedridden. He was sweating profusely, but he felt cold, or he was freezing. He felt freezing, but he was like hot to the touch. Um, he had this really bad cough. Like he scared me. I was really worried about him. Well, the one day he was like, it felt like a dream, but I also felt like I left my body. I was like, well, what do you mean? I was like, you mean astral projection? He didn't know what that was. So I was like, it's where you literally like leave your body and you can wander around or you can like look at yourself. He's like, okay, so yeah, I guess I did that. And he was like, he saw me and him laying in bed, but he was out of his body. And then he woke up or got back to this realm and told me about it.
yeah,
He was like he literally watched himself roll around and me sleep next to him and everything. He said it freaked him out. He's like, it's not fun.
ha ha ha, the bickering here too.
You're catching up. Yeah, I have catching up to do. No white chocolate here. But they were talking about white chocolate. Oh, B squared said dark chocolate. Man, I want white chocolate. I could go for
You don't know what I got beside me. Stay tuned, Linda said. Abby goes, you guys are making me want dark chocolate. We got chocolate right over here beside us. Look at this, folks. We got Rolos. We got Snickers. We got Milky Way. And that's about it. We got bubble gum.
Oh, dear.
That's about it. Sour Patch. So we do got
A chew.
some chocolate. A chew. A chew. Bless you. Milky Way.
I won't be sad if someone wants to astral project some Hershey's. Unfortunately, I don't think that's how that works.
Hershey's. Hershey's is so good. I love Hershey's Kisses. I really do. Especially on peanut butter blossoms. Oh my gosh. I should make some of those. Has Dylan had peanut butter blossoms?
I would assume. But he hasn't had yours.
Yeah, they're good to make. They are good. Been a very good chat with you two. Yeah, we've been here. It's going on 2 hours. Let's see, Chase took all our Halloween candy. He left me the peanut butter ones, but not chocolate.
Beat his ass.
I was just going to say that you're going to have to kick his ass, Abby.
Dylan really likes Butterfingers. Like, that's his favorite candy.
I gave him.
We pretty much gave him all the Butterfingers that we had.
I did. I gave him all the Butterfingers. Wait, what is that? Let me see something.
Oh, listen. B Squared said, Plus Moonlight, quit remote viewing my Hershey dark nuggets and kisses. Gosh. Blossom Moonlight, I don't know what you would call this, but when I was a preteen, I would wake up to see myself floating above my body, sleeping in my bed. What's that called? That's astral projection. You can either see yourself, or you can feel like you're still in your body, but be somewhere else.
Isn't there another term for that too, beside astral? I'm trying to think that there is that. Eric, do you know? If you're sleeping and like you're seeing yourself floating above you and you can see yourself in bed, but you're not, is that still considered astral projection? It is? Yeah. Because for some reason I thought there was another term with astral that went for that specific circumstances.
So astral projection is also known as soul journey, soul wandering, spiritual journey, and spiritual travel.
See, it's usually saying you're traveling. That's why. Let me see if I can get, because I'm kind of like, you got me.
You did travel. You traveled to his hotel.
No, but she's saying, what's it called when you're like floating above your own body? And so she's not traveling. She's just seeing herself.
You traveled above your body.
Yeah, but you didn't really travel. You're just there. You're in the same area. I don't know.
It's a term used in whatever the heck that is to describe an intentional out-of-body experience.
Maybe that's just out-of-body experience. I don't know.
Yeah, OBE. Out-of-body experience.
Well, yeah, they say OBE, but they say depersonalization, derealization disorder occurs when you always or often feel that you're seeing yourself from outside your body, or if you sense that things around you are not real, or both.
They're all talking about
chocolate. Get off the candy bit.
You have a lot of sugar.
Nobody has any candy to share, so nobody should be talking about candy. And unless we can find a way where we can just go like this and go, here, Linda, here, be squared. There it is for you. There's a candy bar. We can't do we can't do Wonka vision or anything like that. We can't.
So you have a lot of trick-or-treaters?
We had a lot. We had a lot. Eric said he was only out there for I made like 100 little packets of like baggies, and Abby and Chase had made up pretty many. And Eric said he was only out there for about 40 minutes, and we ran out of all of our packets. And he said they were still lining up, and we had no more candy to give them. We ran out. We had no way. Yeah, so yeah, we had a lot. So next year we're gonna have to even be more prepared for the trick or treaters.
So you go for some peanut butter cups.
Peanut butter cups are good.
Tim said cookies and cream is their evil way of feeding you white chocolate.
Okay, here's the question I got you, viewers, before we go tonight. Peanut butter cups. Prefer white chocolate or the milk chocolate? What's your favorite? White or milk? I prefer the white chocolate ones, believe it or not. Well, you scroll back up. Don't forget, if you enjoy this chat, hit the like button. Thank you, Linda. I don't recall seeing my body from outside. Probably just wouldn't bother to look or pay attention.
I think that's why I never saw myself like sleeping or anything. I didn't really pay attention to that.
I never saw myself. I don't think well, I probably did, but I don't remember. But what freaked me out is there's been dreams or whatever that I had that I was like walking and a plane's coming or something's coming, normally a plane, from the sky, and it's coming towards me, coming toward me, coming towards me, coming towards me. It's like almost right there on top of me that it's going to hit me. It's going to crash right on me, and then I wake myself up.
Well, you know the reason why you don't die in your sleep?
I have died in my sleep, and I've seen myself die.
The reason why you shouldn't be able to see yourself die, or
they said because you're actually going to die, you won't wake up.
No, well, it's because your brain can't comprehend what that actually looks like or feels like.
Oh, see, I've
killed myself.
Yeah, I've dreamed I've seen myself die.
I've literally, there was a dark version of me and regular version of me. Somehow I was fighting with myself and stabbed myself right in the heart with a like katana, and I died.
I've dreamed that I saw myself dead. I've dreamed that I saw myself being cremated. I saw myself in a coffin. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that filling up. I don't like it at all. I haven't had a peanut butter cup in years, so I can't. But you need to really the white. Oh, go back up.
See, that's what the one that you.
No, go back up. Go back up. White chocolate, Linda. Milk chocolate, Abby. Milk chocolate, stay tuned. See, we're getting people answering, and you're scrolling past them. Linda, she's touching those buttons again.
It's not even a button. That's
whatever. There's buttons on it, right? You have to push the button in order to.
You just scroll.
If you select it, you have to push a button, don't you?
Yeah, so if you select it, I didn't select anything, so
I haven't had a peanut. Okay, I just turned your chat into food. Can't stay tuned. You came on and you turned this whole chat into food.
I love these topics tonight. Paranormal food porn.
Yeah. I mean, jeez. Who would have thought that? White, the wings of an angel.
Profile picture, new channel idea.
Food topics.
No one is judging much.
Who wants us on here to do like another food tasting or food challenge thing or something like that? Vote for that if you want us to do.
If we do that again, I'm ordering from Yum Yums, and we are getting those international snacks.
I'm for that. I'm just not good on sour. Eric, he's the master of the.
I don't even know how. I don't know how.
I don't know how he did those jelly beans.
Stomach of steel.
Yeah, I don't know how he did that. I don't understand how he did that. But we could do even the like generic brands and name brands and have them do name brands and generic and have them like lined up and see who can figure out which one's the generic and which one's the name brand and stuff like that. So just let us know, because that could be something coming up. But then again, like I said, we're going on right on 2 hours and people got to get up because our dogs will wake up early in the morning. Give us ideas, guys. Stay tuned for both upcoming events and that at the jail and for here, because we will be giving out prizes on here too. I'm thinking of doing maybe a prize gift basket for Christmas. But we will do something where you'll have to notice what is
Yeah.
another food one. Okay. We'll do that. Maybe our next one. We won't be able to do our next one because we want to do one this week. We still have, okay, anybody on here that wants to come on live. Anytime we come on, if you want to be on here live, just let us know. We'll invite you and you come invited to the studio.
Well, the next time I'll put the link of like the share thing. The share link, that way you can join in the description. That way all you have to do is click it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that way if you want to tune in, stay tuned, tune in. We'll have that option available. We will be having coming on here on Lurking Spirits. Upcoming, we are going to have back Ashley and Michael Stilson, the one that caught that great apparition. They're going to be coming back on Lurking Spirits. Angel and Lindsay from Dark Hollows, which also Michael and Ashley's from, they'll be coming back on. I want to have Susan from Central Mass come on sometime. I want to have Laura from Rawside come on. Of course, we've had Angelina on. She's always welcome to come back on. We promised Parasolo. I think the other night we did offer, was it Linda or somebody or B Square? One of them we offered the other night, and I think Douglas.
We offered Linda, and then somebody else came on.
Douglas, I think it was.
It might have been Douglas. And then I don't know.
So we're going to have a lot of people coming up. I am supposed to be doing an interview here coming up anytime now for the Boo, their podcast. They did an amazing podcast on the Jill a few weeks back. Just amazing, it was wonderful. And I commented on it and they invited me on. So they're supposed to have me on sometime coming up. Haven't set a date yet. Believe it or not, I talked to the producer from Travel the Dead, and I'm trying to work out to have the producer and Katrina on, or Katrina and one of the other members come on Lurking Spirits. So I'm trying to have this big guest lineup here coming on. If anybody else knows anybody that they can contact and say, hey, Diane and Gabriella or Lurking Spirits would like to have you on, let them know. All they need to do is contact us. We'll make arrangements. So stay tuned. So says the person talking about succubus suckers.
What was that? What did we miss?
Yeah.
We were trying on profile picture. We were trying succubus suckers. Oh Lord! And you say we're weird.
Oh goodness gracious, Mabel! Can we send y'all pictures of objects and see what Gabby can pick up? We can try it. I don't know. You know what?
I don't know if it would work like that, but we can try.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a possibility. I mean, I don't know. I send us objects though. Actually, we had the little thing on there for Cash App at one point, and we were actually getting some donations coming in. Some, it wasn't membership, but just people were sending us some cash for if we needed better equipment or that. So we appreciate that. Thank you. That meant a lot to us. No pressure. Just curious if Gabby wants to give it a go. I recently acquired an object from my mom. I mean, it's worth a try. I mean, it's like when you go to an investigation, it's a hit and miss if anything's going to be caught from it or anything's going to happen. I've been trying it a lot myself with a lot of different objects. Um, like here's an example. I don't know if I haven't picked anything up. But Gabriella got me, if you see, it comes in a set of two. She got me this at it's a church that was doing like a little thrift shop. And I haven't really sat down and tried really deep psychometry on any of the pieces here yet, but it would be interesting if I really put my hand on it and concentrated if I got any feeling from, but there would be no way because we don't know who owned it prior. So I don't.
That is true. But if you start seeing like images or something, it's got to mean something.
Okay.
Like I don't think it would just like
Yeah.
you touch an object and then you start seeing
Yeah.
images. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. So far, I really haven't. She's had some success. I really haven't had any. Have I had any success on that yet? Well, that rock over that investigation we did, you had the feeling about it. And when I touched it, I had feeling that it was taken, which feeling, I don't know if it was the same, but he got it from outside and he just didn't want to tell anybody. And sure enough, he told us he got it from outside and he didn't want to tell them that he brought it in.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would be considered the same.
Kind of.
So I don't know.
Kind of.
Your bad influence. How dare you, Linda? If she wants to try reading it, yeah. If she did with your picture and picked up, well, see, we can, like I said, we can try it. I mean, that's up to you guys. But again, too, please let us know what you want us to do in the future. We've been trying to grasping at good subjects. Tonight's subjects I thought were phenomenal. I think we kept, we touched base on a lot of it. But the food thing, we don't like to always keep in the same line. We like to every now and then sway out of the area just to break the ice a little bit and that. But it's fun regardless. We always have a really good time. So, but we're at right now 2:06 live which we usually are because
So much chitter chatter.
So, Blossom, be squared, stay tuned. Thank you for dropping in. Kiwi, as always, Eric, Abby, everybody that tuned in, be squared. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so either. We love all you guys. You guys are such loyal viewers of ours, and we appreciate it. And again, we could be screaming out, hey, yeah, subscribe and hit that like button, tell everybody about it. That would be nice, but we're not out for the views. We're not out for the, all that. It would be nice, but it's just the fact that we feel the love and the devotion that you guys have to our channel and that you appreciate the content that we're putting out. So
I like seeing how Gabby's brain works. Thank you.
Just don't bring up a subject where she has things getting frisky with each other, because then that's where it kind of goes in the whole other direction. And we can't come back from that. Once she hits that spot, coming back. So love you, honey. We will see you tomorrow. Yeah, voting. Everybody go out and vote. I don't want to ask anybody how you're voting. That's none of my business, but tomorrow's probably going to be one of the biggest election days probably in my lifetime. Because depending on what direction it goes in, we'll see. But yeah, go out, cast your vote. Tune in tomorrow. We are we going to do something? Oh, tomorrow night. There may be a possibility. I don't know yet. There might be a live tomorrow night. I got to talk to somebody about if we're going to go live or if it's going to just be videotaped and then posted later, or I've got to find out some stuff about tomorrow. So
no mention frisky or buttons. No frisky topics.
See, be squared even knows you can't.
Especially frisky buttons.
Yeah, yes. Frisky buttons. like we don't know what the buttons do when we close the laptop. You know,
It gets dark in there, so
it does. It gets dark. The lights go out. We don't know what's capable. If there's new buttons appearing, all of a sudden we know what was going on.
That's why computers get so dirty.
Yeah, dirty computers.
Buttons.
They produce new buttons. So we're getting crazy. It's as bad as the topic that Ross Eidnam had about that. Why is it when you chew corn, it comes out whole? Well, then Kenny Biddle comes on and he says it's because of the cellulose or whatever that's in the corn that makes it. But that still doesn't make any sense. Yes, that's partially true. But you cannot tell me that you put a piece of corn in your mouth and you literally grind it in little tiny bits and pieces before you swallow it, that the cellulose or whatever makes it come back out whole. That's impossible. Unless your body, while it's digesting, is performing like a magic trick. Yeah. Come on. That still didn't answer Angelina's question that night. I mean, scientifically it made sense, but it didn't answer when you're chewing it and grinding up in little bits and pieces. And why do we look anyhow? Why do we look when we take a crap? Why do we look? Didn't we notice that it came out whole? That's kind of sick in itself.
I think it's just because, like, you want to make sure it looks normal.
Yeah, I don't know.
If it doesn't look normal,
so yeah, here we go. We're going right. No, corn. I'm done. That'll be our next. We'll develop a whole episode of just corn on our next one. No, that was wow. That one went way out there, and we really went out here. But guys, we really got to say goodnight to you. I know Eric's anxious to put the dogs in the pen and go up to bed, and it is 11:19. Going to have a busy day tomorrow with election day, and I want to start getting some information for my book. I want to start some crafts here soon. There's stuff that I want to do little by little. For holidays and stuff like that. So we're going to call it a night. Candy corn is just a long corn and the corn. The corn and the corn. We'll get the corn and the corn. Okay, but we're going to kind of, I usually do my end quote here, and I think I had one. Let me see if I can pull it up again.
Well, it's not chewy at all. It's called chew. But if you chew it, it might break or pull out every single one of your teeth.
Okay, I'll go with an Albert Einstein quote. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing. And so with that, everybody, we really, really enjoyed you tonight, you tuning in. So we're going to say with that.
Beeford said, many night nose kisses for the pups, pretty please.
Oh, we will. We will. Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to say, like I said, with that quote, then we're going to say, with that, stay tuned, people.
And peace out.
There you go. Big hearts. Bye.